Welcome to Season 4, Episode 8 of the Georgian Surrogacy Podcast. Hello to everyone around the world. 94 countries now, or could be 95. I'm losing track. I'm Liz Tripodi. Great to be with you. It's freezing cold where I am at the moment. I'm rugged up, and I tell you, I can't wait to get to Georgia in a few weeks' time so I can have a little bit of European sunshine before it heads into autumn. Today we continue on with our special series with the lovely Brendan and Rachael. Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're a little nervous tonight. I can already tell by the hesitation in your voice.
Not at all. Nah, we are a little bit. We were just saying before we come on, I wonder what's in store. Like, honestly,
Wow.
yeah.
Big
Just
day
not
today. Big
Yeah.
day today because I've got the embryo report because, of course, last week, well, it was a week from last week, your donor underwent egg retrieval, and we thought we were going to have the report Friday or Saturday, just gone. But of course, there was one embryo that just was trying to hang on a little bit more, and we had to wait to see for that before we got the final report. So I now have, can I do a drum roll? How are you feeling? Tell me, how are you both anyway?
To be honest with you, we're excited with the news that was given on Friday, but knowing that the final report comes out today is something else. And we just kept second guessing, what could it be?
Still feeling very, very surreal.
Yeah. I've been talking to others in our bubble about, how our journey's going, and they're so excited for us. And of course, we're just overwhelmed with joy with just how everything's progressing so far.
Yep.
Of course, you've been a fantastic part of this journey and helping us in ways that you can. And yeah, I think everybody's just keen for the next bit of news. Of course, we've had people, listening to our podcast. So clearly this definitely makes a big difference to people who are, on this same ride or thinking about doing the same. And we're all too happy to share our news along with everybody who
That's the thing. You guys are just so generous with your time. You're so generous with your spirit. And you are such great advocates just for anybody who is even thinking about pursuing surrogacy. You guys are like two of the most positive people I think I've ever met. And especially after everything that you've gone through, I take my hat off to both of you because you are so resilient and you are just such good people.
Thank you.
Like you are just beautiful, good. You're just great people.
Thank
I
you.
don't say that lightly because, I don't like a lot of people.
No, look, I guess we just want to provide hope to others out there. Just, you do self-doubt yourself from time to time, and it's nice to see or hear other people who have had successful journeys. And I think that's where our positivity comes from, is seeing other people who have pursued such a journey. And sure, it may not have been easy for them, but it certainly is great to see them with the or children at the end of it all. And if we can be that shining light for others who are thinking about having a family in other ways, we'll be that.
Well, we're still a way off, and we did vow, all of us, to share this journey, good and bad, as we progress. So let me bring up this report, which I just received 10 minutes ago.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, you know me, I don't like to dilly-dally.
No, that's all about you.
Okay. All right.
I've literally got sweaty hands just thinking about it.
All right, just reading your names, making sure it's the right people. Yes. Date of births, yes. Donor eggs, yes. Brendan's sperm, yes. Be a bit of a worry if it was someone else's, wouldn't it?
I was going to say.
A number of eggs collected. All right, so we had 17 eggs collected.
Yep.
Yep. Which is incredible.
All right. And we have day 5s. Okay.
Yep.
Mhm.
So we have 10 day 5s
Wow.
and
That-
1 day 6, and the day 7 that we were, holding out for, that
Yep.
arrested.
That's all right. We've still got plenty there. That's
But let me
awesome.
tell you about the quality, yeah?
Yeah.
So, 5AA. Do you
Wow.
understand it? Do you understand about
Yeah, we
yeah?
understand it. Yeah, we absolutely
So
understand that.
5AA, 4AA, 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 4AB, 3AA, 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 4BB, 2AA, 4AA.
What?
Wow.
Okay. Well,
You happy?
if you don't produce a child with something like
I'm
with
very
that,
happy.
that's incredible. But yeah, we're absolutely stoked. That's
That is amazing.
incredible.
It's just,
Honestly,
it's absolutely brilliant news. And so, you know,
I would be very concerned if we didn't produce a child with those sorts of quality embryo. Sorry, that's just yeah, unbelievable.
it's just wonderful results. It really is. And,
Yeah.
like, you could potentially go for twins 5 times.
We'll see
Five
what.
times, five times and a single.
Yeah.
Don't know that I have that much energy.
Oh,
That's incredible. Yeah. Honestly, we hear of other people who, well, this is the thing. If I must be fair, we've had other people who have had lower grade embryos and they've still been able to produce a child. Sure, it might have been a bit difficult, but
yeah.
yeah, it
Well,
is
as you
nice.
guys know, my Annalise was not a pretty crap embryo.
Hmm. And here she is.
Well, yes, she's a little Energizer bunny.
Nah, that's fantastic. Thank you so much, Liz, for sharing that.
Hey, I didn't do nothing. You two did all the work.
No, but you certainly are the messenger in all of this, and we're so grateful that you could tell us, especially over such you know, a positive podcast. And
So
yeah, it's just
while we're talking tonight, let's talk about the next step.
yes.
Next
Wow.
step is to get matched.
Yeah. So the lab actually closes tomorrow for 2 weeks. So we've snuck in the literally in the nick of time.
Mm.
And then, of course, once the lab reopens again, then surrogate preparations start again. So I think realistically, going by what I know, I think I will likely probably be there to meet your potential surrogate when I'm in Georgia.
That
Yeah.
would be
Wow.
phenomenal.
And if I'm not, I don't think it would be past very far off that.
Yeah. Okay.
So I get to Georgia in, what is it? Is it 3 weeks, 4 weeks I'm there? I'm losing track now. I think it's 4 weeks is Friday. Hang on.
Surely you're
1,
counting.
2, 4 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Wow.
right. So let's talk about your wish list for your potential surrogate, because we haven't spoken about it yet.
Not really, have we?
We haven't, but I guess
Let's just
between Rachel
discuss
and
it
I,
with the world.
we've given it some thought. Obviously, as you would know us, we're very communicative.
Yeah.
So we like to, yeah, form some form of connection with our potential surrogate. Obviously, we respect the surrogate may not wish to, but I'm sure you'll do your very best to match us with somebody who is very like-minded.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Actually,
obviously,
I'm going to share a little story with you.
go
I've
for it.
actually got one of my patients at the moment who's actually in Tbilisi, and
Yeah.
they're currently pregnant. I think they're 24 weeks.
Mm.
Anyway, he's gone on his own, and his wife stayed at home, and he's just gone for a couple of weeks. And he got there last Tuesday, and he's just spending the next 2 weeks with the surrogate and her family, taking her out. He's taken her and her son out to Magic City at the playground. They've taken out her parents.
Oh,
Been there for scans, taken the whole family out for dinner. and one of the coordinators, one of the assistants, and just really getting to know her. And,
Lovely.
it is really
So
lovely.
if we had that, yeah, see, we would love that sort of opportunity. The reason I say that is because, had we been matched with a potential surrogate in Australia,
Yeah.
those are the sorts of things that we would have loved to have, connected with and done. But there's no saying that that can't be done overseas. It just depends on, I guess, how things connect. But
Yeah,
you know us well enough to know that we make friends with just about everybody.
absolutely we do.
And
If there,
yeah,
if there was a Mr. Congeniality Award, I think, Brendan, it would have your name on it. Rach is
oh.
agreeing.
But no, look, I guess that's important to us. But it's not just about the surrogate too. We obviously want to ensure that the surrogate feels cared for. I know we physically can't be there to provide that support, but from everything we've heard and from what we've seen, people in the Chachava Clinic are very well looked after, and that to us is a big plus because we wouldn't want to do a journey with someone with a clinic or a surrogate that isn't getting that sort of treatment. So, but yeah.
We have a huge wish list in a surrogate, really.
Look, obviously language would be beneficial if they could speak even just some English because it does make it a little bit easier. In saying that though, we have found technology to be our aid. A good example of that is when we had to assist a person in Hong Kong of all places in the airport. She could only speak Turkish, but
tiniest bit of English.
yeah, but good old Google Translate came to the rescue, and we ended up forming quite a lovely, even if it was short term, just a lovely little chat between each other. And yeah, so I guess that's another. But yeah, what was your other one, good? Yeah, healthy
I'll
for
tell you something funny, actually. Quite a few months ago now, because they're 30, 32, 33 weeks pregnant now. But another one of my patients, when they had their first scan and first meet with their lovely surrogate, quite a few months ago now, we had the translator there on the other end, and well, to all of our surprise, she starts talking to us in fluent English.
Oh wow.
And none of us knew, let alone the couple who we all died of shock. And so
Yep.
ever since then, it's been just full on conversations from a lady that we on her profile said Russian and Georgian. There was no mention of fluent English.
That is, yeah,
And
that's
I mean
definitely.
fluent English. I mean, she could be working at a call center. Her English was that good.
Oh wow. Okay. Maybe she took some classes beforehand.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
quite funny. All right, so you would like someone who can speak a little bit of English. What else?
Yeah, I guess it's also ensuring they have that, lovely sort of personality. So somebody who you can warm to. So what I mean by that is obviously there's two types of people. There's the ones who are very, you know,
Closed.
don't want to talk. Yeah, very closed, which can make things a bit awkward,
I think
obviously.
you guys
But
want someone who's very calm, who's very good-natured, who
yeah,
just exuberates positivity and
yeah,
kindness. Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, absolutely.
Family orientated.
Yep.
Yeah. Like that's the other thing too. Like, surrogates obviously have a family and it would be lovely to, you know, share share in their adventures as being a mother and, learn about their family. Like that's if they're willing to share,
Yep.
obviously.
Yep.
Some people might want to keep that to themselves, but I guess that's not something that they would open up to straight away. That's a build it up to sort of thing.
It's interesting though that you say that, you see, because a lot of people, and I'm not, actually, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but
mm,
you know, there are people out there that I know of, and know none of my patients personally,
mm.
who never even ask how the surrogate is, who have no
We
interest at
can,
all. And let me
yeah,
tell you, the
mm,
surrogates, if they receive a bunch of flowers or a thank you or just a short message, how are you doing? I cannot tell you the biggest smile that comes on their faces and how happy they are to feel that they are appreciated.
Yeah.
Oh,
And people forget
like,
that. A lot of people actually
yeah,
forget that on this journey.
yeah,
We couldn't imagine not checking in on them
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
and that, showing that sort of appreciation.
well, I guess, and we're not just saying this for the feel goods, we're saying this through our own journey in the domestic side. So during our, domestic surrogacy journey, we worked with a lot of lovely IPs, Ps, and surrogates, all of which whom we've formed some great friendships with, and they're all various levels. So some we know just at a basic level, and others that we know just a little bit more,
Yeah.
and just through, just normal communication. So, like that was also displayed in our most recent event that we went to, where we caught up with some people who we connected with, and yeah, it wasn't just a, oh, hi, Brendan or Rachel. It was a, arms wide open,
Massive hugs.
massive hugs. It was just the best feeling
It was
to
genuine.
feel welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. How lovely it would be to experience something like this with our, you know, future surrogate to
Have you got any
feel,
requirements when it comes to things like, the last time there was a birth, the last time she gave birth, C-section or natural delivery previously? Have you got any thoughts on anything like that?
Probably not really, just if it was a C-section that it's been the right required time frame since for recovery
Yep.
yeah.
and that, because I know of many people that have gone on to have others after C-sections, so that's not an issue for us.
Yep.
Yeah. Like it's nice to have that, that history, but I'm sure there's others out there that would say the same. Every birth is different and we respect that. But I guess one thing that reassures us that they're going to be in good care as well is also speaking with others who have had their surrogates birth a child through Chachava. They've always come out, in really good outcomes. So, like we know of a lovely couple that just recently had children to two kiddos, and they're doing really, really well. Obviously, I won't name for privacy reasons, but yeah, obviously, it was
Oh,
great
they'll
to
be on a
see.
podcast sooner or later.
I'm
Yeah.
sure they will. I'm sure you've got them in your schedule.
Of course
But
I do.
yes.
We did have them asking us about what tours we did.
Yep. Cool.
But
Well,
no,
they went on one last week,
That's good.
yes.
and
So,
yeah.
well, that's the thing. We've spoken to others, others have asked us about our experiences in Georgia, and we were honest. We said, for a country we knew very little about, we come away liking it so much that we can't wait to go back and not only be there for our future child, but there's still so much other areas that we could explore, but we'll see how we go.
Yes, for a small country, there's a lot there.
Yeah.
You're probably
But
wondering what I'm doing right now.
Getting your passports ready.
No, well, it's funny. They're not mine. The girls' new passports arrived today. Guess how
oh,
long it took?
2.5 months.
It was 12 weeks, and I had to get I had to get my federal member involved.
oh wow.
This time
Is-
it was really difficult to get the renewal. My surrogate actually rang me last week and
Mm,
told me they'd finally called her, because of course there's a procedure when you are doing a child's passport. This is the third time the girls have had passports issued, by the way, so it's not like it's the first time. But
yep.
this time it was 12 weeks, and I was really starting to panic because, of course, we're only 4 weeks away from leaving. And I didn't really want to exit Australia on their Italian passports, but if I had to, I would have had to. I don't know what the hold up was this time. All the paperwork was exactly the same as the previous time, but
Yeah,
for
okay.
whatever reason, special cases just took their sweet time.
I'm trying to think of a reason for that. Only thing I can put it down to is there's a lot more people traveling
Honestly.
overseas at this time.
Well, every time I rang the passport office, all they could kept telling me was that it was processing, and I said, well, it's clearly not processing, because the due date these were supposed to come back was the start of June.
Yeah, wow.
And
Yeah,
so the passport office couldn't tell me anything. I asked to be put through to special cases. I ended up finding special cases' email from a previous correspondence I had with them. They didn't reply, and that's when I got my federal member involved. And once she made contact, well, my surrogate ER rang me last week and said, just got a call from Australia, and then the next day the passport office rang me and said they're done.
yeah, wow.
That's
So
ridiculous.
clearly there was some pushing along that happened there because, yeah,
They probably just completely put them by the side and forgot about them.
Yeah, well, once they see that it's a surrogacy case, it's like, oh, who can be bothered doing this?
Yeah.
I don't imagine it would be that much difficult, would it? Or is
Well,
it just
there is some extra forms that have to be done, which is very similar to the exit process forms.
okay?
And you have to do them obviously every 5 years when you got to renew a child's passport. The
Yeah,
girls' passports actually hadn't expired. They were not due to expire until Feb next year. The
okay.
reason why I've got them done so early was, did you hear what happened to us in Tbilisi last year?
No.
No,
So when we turned up at passport control, they weren't going to let the girls in because they looked nothing like their passport photos. Because their last passport photos, they were like 8 months old.
yeah,
Yeah.
wow,
And he said to me, like, he's looking at the girls and looking at them, and he's saying, have you got any other identification? Well, thankfully, I had the Italian passports, which had only been done 6 months prior, and they looked
yeah,
like that. So they entered Georgia last year on their Italian passports and exited on their Italian passports.
Yep.
wow.
So
Geez,
then I ended up telling everyone online that if
yeah,
anyone has children, wherever
mm,
you are around the world, and your child does not look like their passport photo anymore, go and get it renewed. I know it's a pain. I know it costs money, but it's better to
mm.
do it than get declined at the border and then wondering who this child is.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Well, geez, that would have been heartache.
I suppose then you've got the issue of coming back into
Yeah,
Australia sort of thing if they don't accept it elsewhere.
Yeah, anyway, it is what it is. So at least I saved some people having to go through what we did because they went and got theirs renewed after that. So,
yeah, definitely.
and
I guess
what about age? Are you fussed about age?
Really?
no, I don't think so. I
Very
think,
easy going.
Yeah.
yeah, as far as I'm aware, pregnancies, regardless of their, well, I wouldn't say regardless of their age, but it's probably not quite as strict as retrieval of eggs
No.
for a female. I guess as long as they're healthy,
Yeah.
can carry out a pregnancy,
Well, there
without
is
too
so
many
much screening
complications.
that is undertaken by Chachava for even a surrogate to be accepted. So for
Yeah.
every 100 people that we get through the door, Dr. Keddy will only accept 10. So
Yeah.
Mm.
the screening is so vigorous.
Yep.
I guess that's a question for you, Liz, and this is for others who might be interested to know. But do you get returning surrogates
Yes.
and even if they are a returning surrogate, are they accepted immediately?
Not
Because
necessarily. No, they've still got to go through the same checks as everybody else.
yep.
So yeah, we have had obviously previous surrogates that have either been with us before or they might
Mm.
have been with a different agency prior, because everyone wants to be a surrogate at Chachava because they are looked after so well. But no, just because you've had a previous journey, even if it was with Chachava, there is no guarantee. I do know actually of personal cases where someone, has tried to go for a sibling journey, have asked for the previous surrogate, they've gone in and they haven't passed the checks. But I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the way I look at it from a humane point of view, the last thing is you'd want to be assessed as being okay, but in fact, it's the complete opposite. Like, let's face it, these surrogates, they're not going in for an easy ride. It's,
They're putting their lives
they are putting
on
their
the line.
lives on the line.
Absolutely. Well,
Last thing
I
you
asked
want.
my surrogate last year. So to give
Yeah.
you a bit of an idea, so she was 31 when she was our surrogate. So she was what, 35 when I saw her last year, about to turn 36.
Yep.
And I asked her, I said, would you do it again? And she goes, no, she goes, I can't my heart. And she'd never told me this, but apparently carrying the twins had put pressure on her heart.
Well, there's you.
Rach, you would understand
Yep, that's why
about
we're on
that.
this journey.
And I
Correct.
felt so bad, and she's like, Liz, no, don't you worry. It's, this would have ended up happening to me anyway, because there was, it was just, yeah. But yeah, so she would never be able to be a surrogate again anyway.
Yep.
It's hard to know that that would be the case, but I guess it's even better to know that she is aware of such circumstances. The last thing you'd want is for her to go and carry on another surrogacy journey and then find out. Obviously, that would be just as, bad.
To happen to her.
Yeah.
So, but obviously, sorry, I feel like I'm going to ask you questions now.
No, that's fine. No one asks me questions. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So, and I guess I want to ask these questions because you've been through this journey before, but you just mentioned that you're still in contact with your surrogate.
Yeah.
So when it come to, well, I guess you didn't necessarily have a coordinator at the time when you did your journey.
Yeah.
Oh, you did. Okay. Sorry. There you go.
And my coordinator still works for Chachava.
There you go. Okay. Well, did you get asked these same questions, and was one of your must-haves, if I'll call it that, to have that ongoing connection or communication?
It was very different when Michael and I did our journey. Number one, we didn't have any specifications whatsoever. I left it in Tatiana and Dr. Ketty's hands.
Gotcha.
We didn't know what we were doing. It was just, you guys just do what you think is right for us. It was, Now, the difference was, though, is that from day one, even prior to embryo transfer, we were in contact via WhatsApp.
Oh, okay.
And my coordinator said to us, this is highly unusual, but we can tell that you are like a different sort of person. And we know that this surrogate is a really good person.
Mm.
And it was not a three-way between the coordinator and us. It was just direct between Ia and me.
Yeah, okay.
Right? Now, that never happens now. And
No.
I now understand from the other side of the fence, and obviously being involved in Georgian surrogacy now for the last 8 years, I understand why Chachava does not allow direct contact, and I believe it is the right thing. Of course, you can do it after the child is born, and when you go there, and you can be there for scans, you can be there for the birth, but it's really important to keep everybody protected for many reasons.
Yep.
And as you've mentioned, some people do not like to have any communication with the surrogate. Some people, that's just not in them personally.
Mm.
When I have patients that want to be, I've got another couple at the moment. They're due in just like 5 weeks' time.
Yep.
And they have full-on conversations every couple of weeks with her, and we all have a great time together and a lot of laughs.
Lovely.
And it's fantastic. But not everybody wants that. Ia and I, it was interesting though, Ia didn't share a photo of herself until she was probably 6 months.
Okay.
Even though we'd been speaking since that first transfer, and if the first transfer wasn't successful.
Mm.
And yeah, so then I worked up the courage to ask her to take a photo of her with her belly.
It's interesting you mentioned that. So at a conference that we attended recently, they were talking of the differences between, I guess, different locations or different nationalities for surrogates. And the two examples that were used was Ukraine versus Mexico.
Okay.
And they say that Ukrainian surrogates are a little bit more reserved. They don't necessarily want to show their belly or
take photos
of themselves, just privacy reasons, not, because there's anything bad. Whereas you compare that to, say, a Mexico surrogate, and they have no hesitations whatsoever. So obviously that doesn't stop us from wanting to, involve ourselves in getting to know the surrogate. And, you know, just like you, we may over time feel comfortable to ask that question. But if, of course, that's not something that they wish to present, we respect their privacy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just interesting to hear of the two different countries and how they, present, I suppose. Because there will be people out there who, you know, they're like, oh, we must see, we must know how you look and yada yada. And then there's others, you know, and so you wouldn't want somebody who's a bit to themselves if that's not really
You
what's
will
going to work.
find that all the surrogates that we have are very, very good natured about when we're on a live call showing their belly. Not belly as in, you know, lifting up their top and showing their bare belly, but you know,
Yeah.
being clothed and things like
Yeah.
and that. And they're very proud of it.
And that's good.
You know,
And
I find that Eastern European women are very, very proud women. For them,
yeah,
it's a real honor. Um,
yeah.
as opposed to, I think, some other nationalities where I feel like, and I'll give you an example. I've got some old friends of mine, actually two different friends of mine, both gay couples.
Mm,
One of them had a journey in India. The other one had a journey in the States. We're talking, you know, 10 years ago now. It was quite a while.
mm,
Anyway, the Indian, they had literally nothing to do with the Indian surrogate until they actually arrived in India.
yeah.
Whereas the US couple, they were flying over every like 8 weeks to go and see her, take her out. They were taking her on cruises. They brought her a car. Like it was crazy. They
Yeah,
must
that is,
have spent $500,000. I kid you not. Like it was like it. I just thought
that's
it was.
like
I personally, I thought it was too much. But
no,
I'm
I
not
don't know
here to
that we could
judge.
accommodate that. As much as we would love to be so close to our surrogate, I do feel that that's probably far rich.
I
Far,
think there's a line and there's a line.
yeah,
And I think
definitely.
that's one of the problems with surrogacy here in Australia is that because we are a Western country and people do hear of these things happening in places like Canada and the US, where the
Hmm.
surrogates have got the highest compensation out of anywhere and they're lavished with gifts and pretty much they set their terms of what they want.
Yeah,
You know, and I know that there's no compensation in Australia for surrogates, but let's be honest here. We all know that there are surrogates in Australia who are being paid under the table in gifts of some way.
yeah. Look, I obviously can't comment myself personally,
It wouldn't surprise you though.
but anything is possible.
Yep.
Personally, if it was me just talking about me, I think the best joys in life come from feeling appreciated and not so much,
The
uh,
monetary.
the monetary. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my take on it. Everybody has different ways in life that gives them a kick in life, but
Well, even when Ia took that phone call from the passport office last week,
yeah,
I transferred her some money to say thank you. And
yeah,
she rang me back and she got upset with me. What are you doing? You know, what'd you do this for? There was no need, you know, that I'll do anything I can to help, you know. But for me, it was like, you know, and I gave her pretty much a month's salary in,
yeah,
You know, in what George, you know, in Georgian. And I just thought, well, no, she doesn't have to pick up that call from the passport office and say, yes, I gave birth to these two children nearly 6 years ago.
agreed,
You,
agreed.
you know,
But
she doesn't have to do that for us. And I mean, I know we're still in contact, but you know, her responsibility with us ended when we made the final payment, you know, by law.
yeah, yeah,
Just in regards to that, just for future knowledge and that, what happens if like the passport office does ring the surrogate like for a renewal?
There
And
is a form that you can actually send. So I didn't have to send through the form that had her details on it. I could have just
yep,
done a stat deck saying we are not in contact and I don't know her details, but you can refer to the exit documents previously and then the passport will get issued that way.
yep,
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
But you have to do that right up until they turn 18. So with the girls now, so they are now 6. So what have I got? 2 more passports?
Yep.
Yeah, roughly 2. No, probably 3. Probably another 3.
Depending on how much they grow and change.
Correct.
No, but look, I think what you did, Liz, is a lovely thing. It's a lovely gesture that obviously has gone a long way, and I guess we did the same. Like we've had a friend who we connected with, in our surrogacy community. She has an obsession with purple, and there was a particular type of car seat for a child that apparently is very rare. It was based in Melbourne, and I just went. Well, she asked if
she's Queensland based.
We were heading up to Queensland. She's like, "Is there any chance you might be able to go and get it?" And I said, "Of course we will." Like, it was on the other side of the city, but we still did it because we know that she would appreciate having such item, and we were all too happy to help.
And that's what you do when you are in this community. And let's be honest, we are small. We are small and we are special. And I beg anyone to differ, because you know what? Being part of this Georgian surrogacy community, I think, is one of the greatest gifts that we will ever take with us through the rest of our lives. And see, I'm going to start crying. Talk, because I'm blubbering.
Correct. That's all right. Look, I don't say this in a way that wants everybody to feel good, but even in this very short journey going to Georgia, we've already connected with such lovely people that they're not only excited for us, but we're excited for them, because they too have gotten to a point where they're listening into our journey and inspired to the point that
exactly we are all cheering. We're all cheering each other on, and I don't think there's any better gift that we can give as people than to be each other's biggest supporters.
Absolutely.
I don't know any other. I mean, look, I worked, as you guys know, I worked in music. Yeah. And I know she wouldn't mind me saying this because we are extremely close friends, but one of my best friends is Tina Arena. And I just spoke to her today, and she's very proud of me from moving from music to this. And she said, this is you, this is, she can't believe what I've done in the last 2.5 years.
Absolutely.
And this is somebody who, I have utmost respect for as a woman. And she's one of my biggest cheerleaders. And to have anyone in your life that, and she went through fertility struggles as so many women do. And to have anyone stand beside you and say, you can do this, or you're making a difference, or whatever it is it's just such a huge gift.
Absolutely.
And I'm just so grateful to be part of meeting so many wonderful people. And I know I said earlier I don't like people, but you guys know what I mean. I love people. I'm a people person. And I get so many messages, and I do want to say, just not to hijack your episode, but I want to thank those people that reach out to me personally and even speak to other people about me and say, oh my goodness, we listen to Liz's podcast. And I tell you guys, you make my day every time I hear comments like that. I just do this from my office in the western suburbs of Melbourne. And, I don't get paid for it. I got no sponsors. This is, just a little project that I started way before I started working for Chachava. And, wherever you are in the world right now, and I know that you are in countries that I never thought that we would have listeners in, and I'm talking, if I read you out the list, you'd be shocked. I'm not going to bring it up now, but.
And what Liz is saying here is the honest truth in that since we did the first podcast, we have had people listen in we've also got our own Facebook page, which I'm not going to plug. I'm just telling you, we've got
No,
our own
let's
little
plug it.
Facebook page, which we use.
From heart.
No, we
Come on, don't you want to plug it?
oh, look, our Facebook page is called From Heart to Home, Our Surrogacy Journey. We created it because we wanted to capture
That's
the moment.
$10,000, by the way, just for that.
There you go. There's a loss of people. No. Yeah, we did it because we wanted to journal our journey so that we can reflect upon it in time to come. We also,
child would be able to see what we went through.
yeah, but also to help promote surrogacy. We never tailored it towards Australian surrogacy because we never knew if we'd go on an overseas journey, and well, here we are. But it's incredible to think that because of this podcast that we recently did, it's actually reaching out to other countries that we never thought was possible.
Yeah. We had some from America following us now on our page.
But even when we went to this recent conference, which obviously was surrogacy based, it wasn't, hi, I'm such and such. It was, oh, are you Brendan and Rachael from that podcast? Just like, yes. She's like, oh, we listened to it. It was great. It was really informative and a lot of fun to listen into. So there you go, Liz. Your works is definitely paying off. But it's not just about the podcast. It's about you as a person. You clearly want to make a difference in people's lives, and you're certainly doing that for us by helping us on this journey. We've spoken to other people who have done the domestic route, and to be honest with you, they often say that it was like a second job in a way that they had to project manage a lot of their journey, which for some, that's a good thing because they want to know everything.
Yeah.
But it does take a lot of time, energy, and sometimes the emotional toll to go through it all. So I'd like to say that without your help, I wouldn't say we're completely lost, but we certainly feel better supported with your guidance. And you've certainly, I feel like I'm writing a review here, but I'm just speaking the truth. But you've definitely been a very compassionate person, which for us was a key thing, because you get those people that say, oh, I'm sorry you can't have children, but why not try this? Or, it'll happen one day. I'm sure that it's nice to hear those comments, but when you hear it often enough and you don't get anything out of it, like as in there's no result showing, it can feel very repetitive.
And I think my words to you guys was, you know what? Let's just stop the crap. It's time to start surrogacy now.
That's another word I'll use for you. And I hope you can either bleep it out, but yeah, you're a no bullshit person.
Absolutely. I'm not bleeping that out, and I'm absolutely proud of it. I am just honest, and sometimes that gets me into trouble, but I don't care.
It's what we loved, honestly.
That's why we get on well with you.
Yeah. But
I would also like it known from my mum, she is so grateful that we've met you.
Oh.
Because now, obviously, we're a lot closer to her getting another grandchild.
Yeah. And that's the thing. People forget about the other family members that are affected by this too, because we don't talk about that.
Yeah, 100%. So without reflecting too much on our previous journey, you try having something that you've so deeply wanted taken away from you. It can be very hard to shake. But when we had those children removed from our care,
it's not just us who were affected.
Yeah, it wasn't. And it to this day, it still, breaks our heart to think that we don't have them in our lives.
Let me just backtrack, because a lot of people that are listening are going to be going, what the hell are you talking about? Because we didn't go into detail in this in the first episode. So let me just quickly summarize this, that you were foster parents.
Yep.
And that, unfortunately, as people who are familiar with the foster system around the world, children can be taken away from you and returned to their families. And that's what happened to you guys. Yep. So we'll just leave it there, because it was heartbreaking for you both, because you had formed such a huge attachment and were told that it was going to be permanent.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, it affects like the grandparents and all that. So mum is so excited about this journey.
Yeah.
I was getting
Beautiful.
phone calls Friday from her. Have you got any news yet?
You're lucky she doesn't have your number. In fact, my mum is the same. My mum often, when I call her, she'll ask, so how's everything going? And I don't even have to second question what she's talking about because I know she's excited about the thought that she will have another, another child. And
Well, my prediction is what? We're in August now. So my prediction, I reckon all of us will be together. I reckon September, October next year.
yeah, wow.
That'd be pretty awesome.
That's my prediction. So the end of next year, you'll be celebrating your first Christmas as parents.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty cool.
that'd be awesome. This is just a little side take, but yesterday we had my sister and brother-in-law come visit.
Yep.
With our 1-year-old niece.
With our 1-year-old niece. Anyway, because me and my brother-in-law, we love our cars, we stayed tinkering around, and our little niece, she loves spending time with us. So any moment she can get, to be with us is just a blessing. Anyway, we decided to get around as a family and catch up with my in-laws, which live ironically next door. Well, Rachel's mum just went absolute gaga. She just couldn't help but just look at this beautiful girl's eyes and just want to interact with her so much.
Yeah.
And I don't say this.
Our niece loves dancing to music already, and my mum loves music.
She was so in awe of this girl who just absolutely loved bouncing to music. But the other thing too is obviously he's got a handful of toys, but lo and behold, my mother-in-law's already found a gift for our future child.
Oh, of course she has.
And she couldn't resist. She's like, I have to get it out and I have to let this little girl have a play with it. She's like, Bren, you can just, carefully put it away later for your child.
You can put it back in its box so I can wrap it. That's what she said.
That
But
is
yes,
cute.
yeah. So the family's extremely excited by all the news that we provide, and they'll definitely be our supporters for when we finally have this child in our arms. We so look forward to that day, and we know it's going to be loved, and we'll be forever grateful to have this opportunity because you do in this journey have self-doubt on whether or not it's ever going to happen. So
you do.
So to get to this point is it's incredible.
And it's happened fairly quickly for you guys too, which has been the timing, everything's just been really smooth so far.
Yeah,
been good.
Absolutely. Yeah, look, this is the thing. We could have gone down a domestic route and, people say we're very approachable, but it's just it's hard to keep that
The faith
when things just go so progressively slow. Like, yeah, we've heard of journeys that can take, years before they even get matched, and then that takes even longer through the legal processes. And
then you just need one thing to go wrong and a journey can be over because surrogates changed their mind and back to square one.
So
and that's not fair. But unfortunately, that's also life.
It is.
Can't force anyone to do what they don't want to do, but it's just shit for those of us that have invested so much time and energy into being genuine and wanting to have a relationship and hope that it does go somewhere.
Yeah, and the thing is for us, Rachel and I consider ourselves somewhat fortunate in that we didn't have to go down and spend mega dollars IVF treatments and stuff because we never were given that opportunity.
Yeah.
But we do feel sorry for the people who have gone down that route and not come back with a result, not only because of the financial side, but the emotional side too. It would be so hard to have that consistent, ongoing, negative results. And yeah, I guess for us, that was one thing that appealed to this journey is we feel well supported with the knowledge that this clinic has around IVF treatments, but also assisting in the surrogacy side.
It's also we have some control.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess there's just so many positives to this journey so far, and we're hoping with this information it helps others to just think of, if they're at the starting stages, maybe reassessing their options, eh, and use this information in a way that, because for us, when we looked into surrogacy some 14 odd years ago, there wasn't this level of knowledge or support. It really was winging it. Like we know of in Australia, gay dads that once again had no supports. They were really winging it. But we at least feel supported in this journey, and we're so forever grateful.
You two were so lovely. Well, we're going to wrap it up, and I'll tell you the reason why we're going to wrap it up, because I could talk to you guys all night, as you know, because we were talking at midnight last Friday. But
we finished at 2 a.m.
oh, you didn't.
Yep.
This is the sort of
I could
connections we
have
have.
just rejoined when I got up to make myself a cup of tea. I think at 1 o'clock.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
But the other Liz was going to leave at 12:30, and we just still kept talking.
I blame our clock. Our clock battery was dead, so I thought it was like 11:30, but it was not. But no, look, it was just lovely to have those connections, and because we don't often speak, you have so much to catch up on. But
Yeah.
yes, it was.
We will let you go so you can do all your other things.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a super busy night, so just so you know, I've got another set of twins that could really come anytime now.
Oh wow.
I'm waiting for actually, I have messages. Let me see if there's anything that.
Your phone must never go to sleep.
It never goes to sleep.
I don't think
and I'm waiting for some good news a pregnancy confirmation as well. So I should
wow.
scan in the next hour. But my guess is I've got two little munchkins that are probably still in bed reading, and I need to go and, go and do
Lovely. Yeah.
kiss. Hopefully they're asleep, but if not, it'll be kiss and a quick song.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely.
Have a good night. At least you got some positive things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This week is a really positive week. We have got so many exciting things happening. It's just super exciting.
No, that's great. But thank you so much for, once again, not only hosting us on this podcast, but sharing such amazing news. If only people could see the smile on our faces.
Yep.
I know we don't share that screamy sort of excited type. That's, but inside that's how we feel.
And to be sitting there awake tonight.
it feels great.
So I will, before I forget, I will send you the embryo report.
Yes,
so
please.
You have it for your records.
Yes, please.
And you can file that away because it's super important that you have this. I'm sending it right now. It is sent.
Amazing. Well, in saying that, another thing we'll probably end up doing before we call it a night is...
And you can also think about... The other thing you can actually start thinking about is whether you want to transfer 2 embryos or whether you just want to transfer 1. And if you do, which embryo or embryos you want to transfer.
All right. So you can actually select which embryos you want to go for.
Absolutely, you can. Or you can also say, I'll leave it up to Dr. Ketty and the lab.
Yep. Yep. So many decisions, but so many ones.
All right. You have a good night to both of you, and I will talk to you both soon.
Amazing. Thank you, Liz.
Good night, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.